In this video, we'll look at staking Ethereum on Binance. Now that Ethereum has upgraded, Binance let you stake Ethereum directly, so they do all the background stuff for you, running the validators and getting the staking rewards, and then they pass that back to you into your account, and they take a small fee for doing this. There are some advantages and disadvantages to this, which I will go through in this video, but we can go to earn and then ETH staking, and then we can go ahead and actually stake our Ethereum right through Binance. The first thing we need to do is get some Ethereum into our spot account. We can either transfer that in from another exchange or a wallet that we have, or we can just simply buy it on Binance directly. If you don't have a Binance account yet, I'll leave a link below to a video tutorial, which is a beginner's guide, which shows you how to buy and sell and deposit and withdraw from the platform. I'll leave a deposit and trading bonus link to Binance in the description as well, because they do give one if you're new. But what we can do right here is just go and get some ETH. So I'll leave that for the videos in the description if you don't know how to do that. But Ethereum right here, and as long as we have some of that in our account, then we can go ahead and actually use the Ethereum staking feature. So get that ETH, and then what we need is to go over to the Binance staking portion. So we go to earn and then ETH staking right here, and it takes you through to this where you can stake now. You can also redeem your ETH if you want to take it out of this, and then you can wrap it as well, which we'll go through. Binance are basically a middleman in this operation, so they run some validators and some infrastructure on the Ethereum blockchain, and because they do that, they get the staking rewards from that blockchain. So this isn't lending or anything like that. This is genuine ETH staking. All Binance do is just pass your ETH over and stake it on the validators on the Ethereum chain, and because they're getting the staking yield, they pass that back to you, and Binance of course take I think about 5% or so for the trouble. But that doesn't really matter, because what does matter is the actual APR that you're getting, or the yield. You can see the passive earnings here is about 4.16%. That is the average, I think, over a certain period. So we can see the historical APR. It goes down on some days to around 4%, 4.5%, that's 3.8%. So it's going to change every day depending on what the network actually is giving at that time. What we can do is just compare it to another competitor, which is Lido, which is really the kind of decentralized way of doing this. So you can use Lido as well, and it's basically the same thing. They run infrastructure and pass that back to you. You can see the ballpark here, 3.9%, and for Binance, it's around 4%. So more or less the same. However, I think Binance is an average over what they're giving you each day, whereas this is a 7-day average. Now, from the research that I've done, Lido takes a little bit less of a percentage out. So you might be getting a little bit more with Lido, but again, it does depend because each validator may have different performance. But you can see that it's in the ballpark. And then what we can do now, once we have some ETH in our account, is press stake now. And then you can stake any amount. Now, the advantage of using a centralized exchange like Binance is that you don't pay gas fees. And this is a big advantage if you only have a smaller amount of ETH that's not worth paying the gas fees. If you're going to do this on Lido in a decentralized way, you're going to have to buy your Ethereum on a centralized exchange. You're going to have to withdraw it from your exchange into a wallet. So that's like $5 to $10. Then you're going to have to stake it through Lido. That's another $5 to $10. And then when you want to do anything with it after that, you're going to have to send it, which is another $5 to $10. So that is just prohibitively expensive if you have a small amount, which is the advantage of an exchange. You can see here, no gas fees. You can stake any amount that you want, up to the limit, which is 50,000 ETH, I think, which is the account limit, which is obviously a huge amount, but no gas fees here. So you can choose any amount that you want, 0.1, and it will distribute 0.1. So the ETH that you're putting in here, this is being taken by Binance, put it on the validators, and it's a one-for-one thing. So they're not taking anything out. There's no gas fees here. And then literally just press stake. You can read some of these notes as well. It's a one-for-one basis. So you put your ETH in, they put that exact same in, and then you can take it out at a later date. There's a 5% commission, as you can see here, that Binance charge you on this. So no fees either side, but they're just taking 5% of the yield that they get from Ethereum, and they're taking their 5% off before you get your total yield. And then you can just stake that. And it takes, I think, 1 day before you can actually get staked, right? So they basically put this all up for all their clients and put it on the blockchain all at once. And I think it takes 2 days after that, you can actually start getting your rewards. Now, what happens here if you press stake is that they switch this ETH and they give you something called BETH in your account. So when you press stake here, you'll see this token that you've swapped into called BETH. this is like the staking token, right? So of course you don't have ETH anymore because you've staked it. You've got the staking token, and this is like a receipt that gives you access to redeem ETH at any other time. So the BETH is your staked ETH, and that's getting staking rewards in your spot account just for holding it in there. And if you want to redeem it, you can do that. You swap the BETH in and they give you actual ETH back that isn't staked, and then you can go ahead and trade that or send it out if you need to send it to an external wallet. Once you have staked your Ethereum, BETH will simply show up in your Binance spot account. You can see this right here. You'll see a balance, and this will accrue the staking rewards automatically, so you don't have to do anything else at that point. You can see on the Ethereum staking page through Earn ETH Staking the amount of your yield, so the amount you've earned in staking rewards, yesterday's yield. And if you go to BETH position here, this just goes back into your spot account to show you how much you have. You can look at the distribution record as well over time to see each day what you've earned. But that's as simple as that. You have that BETH, and now we'll get to redemptions. The main drawback here is that you have to wait 5 days, according to Binance, to get your BETH out if you redeem it back into ETH. So what we can do here is the amount of BETH that we have in our account, we can choose that. Distribute ETH. So as you can see, again, it's 1-for-1 exactly. So there's no gas fees here. You get back exactly what you staked. You can see the personal quota each day is 10 ETH, which should be enough for most people. But there's a Binance platform redemption limit of 509 ETH per day as well. So like Binance say, if that redemption limit is met, then you may have delays and you may have to wait for the next day, which is a little bit annoying. Also, you can see there will be 5 days before you receive the related ETH in your spot wallet, and you may not get the yield of those days. You can see after you successfully redeem or submit your BETH redemption request, your BETH will be frozen in your spot wallet. So those amount of days, you're going to have to be fine with waiting for that to get the ETH back. But you can redeem that, and this BETH after a few days will actually show up as ETH in your account, and then you can use it as you want. Because BETH is a liquid staking token, it can actually be traded on the open market, and so you don't have to wait for redemptions. Because anyone who holds BETH in their account can redeem it 1-for-1, it obviously has value that is essentially 1-for-1 with ETH. So what we can do here is press trade on BETH, and we'll go through to the spot market. If you see above my head, you can see you can trade it for BUSD, ETH directly, and USDT. Let's just do ETH right here. So BETH for ETH. If you don't want to wait for redemptions, you can simply trade it in the open market. And so you can see buyers here. So what BETH is actually trading at is 0.9988. So there's a little bit difference, right? It's not 1-for-1, but it is very, very close. If you just want to sell out of your BETH right away, and you don't want to wait for redemptions, and you're happy taking a very small slippage right here, then this is a possibility. So BETH can be traded directly for ETH on Binance. It can actually be traded and sold out directly for Tether as well. As you can see here, the markets aren't massively liquid, but if you have small amounts and you just want your BETH straight away, or you want to sell it for dollars to do something else, you can do that immediately and get that cash in your account, and you don't have to wait for the redemptions. Binance also let us wrap our BETH. This is where we can wrap it into a separate token that can actually be withdrawn from the Binance exchange. You might want to do this because you want to take self-custody of the asset. You don't want it on a centralized exchange, and so you can actually withdraw this to your own wallet, like a ledger or something like that. So we can press wrap BETH in the staking platform right here. That takes us over to the wrap BETH section, and we can simply wrap it on the right-hand side. So what we're doing here is taking BETH that we have, which is earning staking rewards, and then we're wrapping it into this separate token, which is wrapped BETH, that actually lives on the Ethereum and BNB Smart Chain chains. You wouldn't really use Ethereum, because if you were using Ethereum anyway, you'd probably use Lido staked ETH, because that's the more popular and liquid product there. But if you're using the BNB Smart Chain, because it's a lot cheaper and you're okay using that, then what you can do is wrap the token and actually withdraw it to the BNB Smart Chain. You still get your staking rewards through this token, but you actually have self-custody of it, and you can use it across DeFi if you want. So what you can do here, once you have an amount of BETH, is press wrap. And as you can see, 1 BETH is equal to 99,426,155 wrapped BETH. The reason for this is the wrapped BETH token doesn't accrue staking rewards through rebasing. It actually accrues staking rewards through getting more expensive. So there's an amount in, the wallets that earn this yield. And if you, swapped it for a one-to-one basis, then over time, you would actually have, a more expensive token in relation to ETH because you're getting 4 or 5% yield a year. And so wrapped BETH becomes more expensive as a token, whereas BETH will always be 1-for-1 because you just get more of that token given to you to represent the yield. So that's a non-rebasing versus rebasing. BETH is rebasing, wrapped BETH simply gets more expensive. You have the same amount, but they get more expensive over time to represent the yield that you have. So what we can do here is wrap the BETH, put any amount in here, and we get the amount that we should of wrapped BETH. So we can agree to that and press wrap. Now what you'll get in your account is the wrapped BETH right here. So if we go back to our spot account, you should see this one, right? So you should have a value of this. Now what you can do with this is withdraw it. So if you don't want to withdraw, then just keep BETH. If you're looking to withdraw it onto the blockchain, then yes, BETH is the one that you want. And then you can press withdraw and take that out to your wallet. The advantage of this is that you don't have to keep your assets on a centralized exchange if that's an issue for you. I know there are many issues, not your keys, not your crypto. Although to be fair, when you're using a service like this, Binance is still in the middle at some point. It is definitely more decentralized, but they are in the middle still. But obviously you're not having your crypto on that exchange if that is an issue for you. So you can choose an address and withdraw this either to BNB Smart Chain or to Ethereum. Mostly BNB Smart Chain because this is a Binance product, and so they're going to be supporting it a lot more on that chain. BNB Smart Chain can then be used to either just keep the token itself, or you can use liquidity protocols and farms like PancakeSwap. You can see that you can actually have wrapped BETH and ETH, and you can provide this as liquidity and earn 7% APR right now anyway, which is, let's say 50 to 60%, more APR than you'd be getting just from the BETH. It's a little bit complex for this video. I'll leave some videos on PancakeSwap and providing liquidity down in the description if you want to check those out. The advantage of using a centralized exchange to do this is that you don't pay gas fees to stake your ETH, which can mount up and be prohibitively expensive. The downside is obviously not your keys, not your crypto, so you have to be comfortable with using the centralized exchange. Binance do this. Also, Bybit and other exchanges are now doing this as well. I'll leave links below to deposit and trading bonuses on the exchanges that I use down in the description, the other helpful videos down there too. I'm James, this is Money's EG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.